So here's the building setup for the week. You'll see that the gates are already set trial style because we had the UKI trial last weekend and then the AKC trial this weekend. So I left it trial style. So it's a good opportunity for the dogs to work in the trial-like environment. Also, I left pretty much all the equipment except for the table and a couple jumps where it was for the last run of UKI. So it worked out well that the weave poles were up front here because we're always getting requests for the weave poles to be up front. So something you could work on with the dogs, depending upon the type of class you have, is just some work with that dog's weaving while there's, people chatting at the table or making noises, crinkling bags, so on and so forth. Same thing, I added in the table and I put it up near the front for the same premise or same idea, so that depending upon level or type of class, they could work on distractions with stuff going on up front here while dogs on the table. Okay. Otherwise, last week the primary focus for the silver classes was backside work, and for the lower level classes was some serpentine work. So I wanted to continue the backside work this week. We did do compare and contrast of backsides and rear crosses, especially isolating the verbal cue. So this week's lesson plan kind of works around backsides, but with the discrimination of another obstacle around, so that they actually have to hear the backside cue and choose not to take the other obstacle. I did widen the jump area over here, and then I made a jump area over there so that people, while they're waiting, can come in and work on one jump by themselves, can work on discriminating their backside verbal against their other common verbals. So their sit, their down, their marker cues, their take, and their find, and work on discriminating the backside verbal in that context. And that just kind of depends on class and skill level what you give them to work on there. So it's kind of some busy work for them to do. Otherwise, what I would do to start is come down to this end here, this corner, and have the handlers kind of stand neutrally in between the tunnel and the backside, and cue the dogs to tunnel and then cue them to backside. It depends on the level of the class, but I would try, if that's a higher level class, to just do it on verbal only. Lower level class, obviously, lower level silver, assist with some body cues, okay? And then you can always move the blue jump over to the right a little more, which will make that first drill a little easier because the backside won't be as challenging to find, or the tunnel won't be as far away. But then you can move it back for the longer stuff. So once you've done a couple reps of just tunnel versus back, then a couple of drills are as follows. And you don't necessarily need to do these, but they seem to work out fine today. So first one being school bus tunnel, the right side of the school bus tunnel under the dog walk to the right side of that school bus tunnel, and then right side of the school bus tunnel under the dog walk to the back side of the blue, all dog on right for both of those. Then you can work kind of the same idea, but starting down here, rainbow tunnel towards us to the right side of the school bus tunnel, and then rainbow tunnel to the back side of the blue, the right wing again specifically, so that they have the tunnel versus backside discrimination there. And then lastly, or maybe second to last, in my opinion, one of the harder ones, and you can make a longer sequence going into this if you want, but would be rainbow tunnel, black wingless towards us, school bus tunnel, left end, and then they could just go right back to the rainbow tunnel, black wingless, backside of the blue. So this one's more challenging because the backside's kind of recessed back against the tunnel entrance, so they'll actually have to pass the tunnel a little in order to get to the backside, but it has gone pretty well today. And then of course you can do the traditional dog walk tunnel versus dog walk to the backside there. All right. There are two sequences set up for the silver class. There is one sequence set up for the lower level classes, because those are kind of class to class basis, and you guys, those of you that teach them, tend to have a pretty good idea of what you want to do anyways, but I'll throw out some ideas for you. So the blue cones is for silver. It starts out with the jump to the dog walk, and then it goes to the back side of the blue, okay, to the left side of this school bus tunnel, to your rainbow tunnel, to the triple, which is out there, to the teeter, and then off the teeter we do a little pinwheel. So purple jump that has the bar on the ground, red wingless to that pink, and then the A-frame, and then off the A-frame it's tunnel discrimination to the right side of the tunnel, finish with the panel, red, and then I put the number 15 cone by the pole, You could have them go to the weaves, or you could have them go to the table, or you could have them stop at 14. So that just kind of depends on your class and how much time you want to spend on that one. So that just has one backside, and it's just that classic tunnel versus backside up there, going to the left side of the school bus. The red cones is 14 obstacles, but has multiple backsides on it, so it could be split 2 to 3 ways if you want, or you could do one longer one. It starts here at the red wingless, and it goes the backside of the red to the panel. So this has the dog walk versus backside element here, of course coming from the stay, and then also this one's going to have more handling options to go over with them. So then off the red to the panel, you go left side of that school bus tunnel under the dog walk to the rainbow, to the black wingless, to that school bus, to the dog walk, and then off of the dog walk, it's the back side of this red wing. So again, discrimination between the wingless and the back side of the red wing. And then they'll go wingless weave poles. And after the poles, it goes white jump, back side of that purple that has the bar on the ground, to the double. The weaves to the white is not a super easy line to run dog on left. They do need some good lateral motion if they're going to try to have dog on left. Otherwise, I tried to encourage them to cross out of the poles and run dog on right up this line to the backside. And if you had extra time, or if it's a higher level silver that has a threadle verbal or has learned how to rear on the flat to the backside, you could also have them work it that way as well. Okay. For the lower level classes, the something to work on would be going to the table from behind. Okay, of course, obviously the weaves in the table with distractions, but you could have them start purple, white to the table and not let them lead out at all, so that they're behind heading to the table, and then do a series of longer drills going into stuff like that. Okay, also can work the weave poles up front there with some distractions, and then I did make the white cones, and I'll leave them out, but it's pretty straightforward, but it can be run twice. So it starts with the red, goes red, pink, pink, A-frame, and then the number 5 cone is in between the 2 tunnel entrances. So the first time you can go left end of school bus and go panel, red to the table, and then it finishes with the white jump, double weaves, and then the red jump. The second time, if you wanted to run it twice, they could go to the right side of the school bus and then the same ending there. So that's going to present putting the handler at different places, different times, hopefully putting them behind going to the table. Okay, pretty straightforward sequence. There's a lot of other things you could do to get the handlers behind. I mean, having them come out of the, come around here and do the blue, black to the rainbow tunnel to the left side of the school bus will also get them going behind and down and around to the table. So lots of different options there. I just didn't want to put too many cones out because I don't know where those classes are specifically, and cone clutter. So lots of stuff you can do on the setup in the 100 by 80 ring, and hopefully plenty of busy work for everybody to work on out there. Couple of things to note: the triple is broken-ish still. It has the broken jump cup, so it's missing an 8-inch jump cup, so you'll just have to put that half up, half down on the bar. The other thing is I am going to put up the public dog water dish, just because I've had about 5 or 6 people at least mention that their dogs have had diarrhea or vomiting this week, so I think there's some kind of bug going around. I'm just going to put it in the sink, so if somebody needs it, they can get it. I wouldn't bother announcing that to the class. It's just, I just would like to encourage dogs to not drink public water, to make sure the water gets rinsed frequently. So if you're looking for the dish, it's in the sink for no reason other than just trying to keep everybody from passing on a GI bug. Past that, I don't think I have anything more.